free now. Praise God. We just need to know about our freedom. I was going to say this till near the end of the message, but, you know, after Emancipation Proclamation, the slave owners, you say, what in the world are we going to do now? They done messing with our money. You know, black people made the slave owners rich.
Yeah.
How they do that? We were the workers.
Yeah, sure were.
We were the employees.
Free.
We made them rich. Are you with me? See, we messing with somebody's money. So they said, well, what are we going to do now? So what they did was they came together, and I got this from a book from an economist named Thomas Sowell, S-O-W-E-L-L. He's one of the leading economists of our days. He teaches in universities now, a black man, probably in his early 90s, not late 80s. Thomas Sowell. But his book called The Ethnic America, he said this: slave owners used to get with each other and teach each other this. Now that the black man is free, we got to teach, well, prior to, I mean, they get ready to get free. Teach the Negro how to work. But we can't ever let him learn how to take care of himself. If we're going to make it and continue to prosper and have what we have, we've got to teach the Negro to be dependent on us. We got to teach him how to work, but never let him learn how to take care of himself. We got to keep them dependent on us for a job. And then we never need to be concerned about them leaving us. They ain't going to leave us. We ain't going to need no fences. We ain't going to need no chains. He ain't going nowhere. Negro, where you going? How you going to make it? How you going to provide for your family? Where you going to live? That's how they used to talk to him. You can't make it without us. We own everything. We the boss. We the boss. You the slave. Don't you ever forget it. I mean, that's what it said. Look, we the boss. I mean, you are designed by God to be the servant and work for us. Okay? Well, that's the education. The education today teaches us how to go to school, get your education so you can get a what?
A job.
Work for the master. Work for the person who started the business, started the job. They the rich. We the workers, they the rich. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling y'all. I mean, some people get mad at me, but you got to tell the fact. The black American who helped build this country, we have the fewest people of any ethnic race in America, including the Latins now. They done passed us. That are self-employed or own a business. We laborers. We the ones who do the work for the man. You understand? And that was a desire. In fact, you know, they came up with, check this out. It's called the business of education. Let me tell you something. I just heard this the other day from a guy who's been preaching the same message I've been preaching for years. He said he lives in Cleveland, Ohio. He said the budget in Cleveland, Ohio is $450 million a year. He said the education, $350. He said the education budget is $450 million. It's a business. The business of education. Go to school. Learn how to be an employee. Goodness. That was the whole plan, to keep Negroes being the employees and making the owner of the business rich. Goodness. When we as a people gonna wake up, we only have 3 to 5% of our people who are self-employed or own a business. We're laborers. And it don't have to be that way. It's just that the education system teaches us that. I didn't even talk with black people and tell them this. And they say, well, you know, everybody can't be a business owner. Somebody got to do the work. Well, why has it got to be us?
Yeah, that's right.
Why we got to be the laborers? And then part of Willie Lynch was going to be too hard for you. It's going to be too difficult. You won't be able to make it. See? And the whole Willie Lynch thing, caused us to be against each other and all kind of stuff. And all that, the life is rough and, slave owners used to tell slaves, look, I'll give you a rent-free shack. You can have part of the crop. Go on vacation every now and then. But you still a slave. I don't care if they call you free or not. You still a slave. What? You the worker. I'm the boss. You the worker. African American today in a free country of America where blacks can be anything. In this country, I'm just telling you, a thug can be a multimillionaire.
Sure can.
A thug. Ask Snoop Dogg.
That's love.
Goodness, this is the land of the free. We only have 13% of the population. We got had a black president, a black governor, black Supreme Court. We got black everything today, y'all. Golly. Don't we see this stuff about we live in a white supremacist country? No, that's an inferiority complex. To believe that we live in a white supremacist country, that means that you feel as though you're inferior to them.
Thank you.
Lord have mercy.
Amen.
Listen, I live in a country where the Bible says God is the Lord. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. He's the owner of the cattle in 1,000 hills. The earth is His. I'm an heir of God and a joint heir of Jesus Christ. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Can't nobody stop me. The devil himself can't stop me from being, having, and doing whatever it is that God puts upon my heart.
Amen.
Goodness, it's been proven. Like I said, I ain't gonna take too much time, but right here in Richmond, Virginia, 16 years after the Civil Rights, no welfare, no access to capital, no food stamps, couldn't even go to certain sections in Richmond, couldn't go into the stores, wouldn't let us go into the stores and everything. Right from the church, a man named William Washington Brown started an organization, and it developed into the most prosperous, biggest business enterprise in America. And it spread to 23 states with over 100,000 Negroes. In Richmond, it was called Jackson Ward, and everybody was blessed. Owned everything. Oh, we don't want you in our stores. That's okay, we'll start our own store. Well, we don't want you going to our schools. Well, we'll start our own schools. Maggie Walker. Okay. It's called independence. If you read the history of Reverend William Washington Brown, I mean, the man died when he was 59, but the point is, listen, if you read his testimony, he was conservative. He was a conservative minister. That's what I have been. I've been a conservative. I've always told people, don't be voting for no party, vote for a person.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Jesus.
Don't vote for no Democrat or a Republican. Vote for a person that believes like you believe as a Christian. Are you with me? But I'm a conservative pastor from way back. I met President Ronald Reagan. I took a busload up to Washington with Judge Bork, I believe it was. We went Clarence Thomas when they didn't want that black man on the Supreme Court. I was in support of him. I mean, I've had the NAACP want to protest and boycott our church and all kinds of stuff. I've been through all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a believer first, but at the same time, I'm just telling you, is that Reverend William Washington Brown in the late 1800s, he said, forget trying to change, get them to change. We gonna change. First thing we got to do, this is what he said, this is what he preached. First thing we got to do is get off of alcohol. Why? Because of vagrancy laws. Vagrancy laws said this is a law, and it's wrong, and it was evil. But vagrancy law said if you're drunk and unemployed and black, you go into jail.
Wow.
That's what they said, man. The vagrancy laws are going out picking up black men off the street. If they're drunk, where you work? I ain't got no job. Come on. They put them in prison. And in prison, they became a part of the chain gang.
Yeah.
That's where it started, the chain gang. Are you with me? So all I'm saying is 5,000 men a year in Richmond, Virginia were being put in prison. So rather than trying to fight the system, what he did was he reached out to our people and said, get off alcohol. So what happened was it dropped, the incarceration rate dropped from 5,000 black men a year to 500. Isn't that something? But this is what he noticed. We still broke. We still broke. We got to do something about it. So rather than trying to get them to give us some money, he said, we're going to generate our own money. And they started paying membership dues. And they started a legal organization, a mutual benefit association that provided their life insurance, their health insurance, which was called death insurance, and sickness benefits. And they started paying there and taking care of themselves. That developed into buying land, building buildings, starting schools, and became known as Jackson Ward, the first Black Wall Street in America in 1888. Maggie Walker was a little girl when all that was going on, and she had it. By the time she was up 1903, she started her own bank. Y'all need to realize this. There was 13 black-owned banks in Virginia in the late 1800s and early 1900s. We ain't need the white man to give us nothing. We did it for ourselves. And that's why I'm saying in my book, racism don't matter, because it all depends on us and God and believing God and having faith and then taking action to do for ourselves.
Yeah.
If we work together, we can do that. Work together, that's the key. Y'all got that? Yeah. So I want to throw that out there. So